Gamers, we got to talk. It's important. I even got the cam on. I've come to tell you guys that Bequest sword from Deepstone Crypt is absolutely destroying Crota. Lament users are getting out DPS. People are using Fallen Guillotine, Throne Cleaver, and Caretaker. Now, Caretaker is the same frame as the Bequest, but the thing is, if you masterwork it, the impact is so off. 62 versus a 78. That's why the Bequest is doing so much more damage, because it has the same base impact as the Lament. Now, I know Lament, you block with it, it's going to heal you, but while you're blocking and you're setting up your combos, I'm just swinging away. This is all left click, light attacks. You don't want a heavy attack because it's an uppercut. Relentless just keeps recharging my ammo, so I'm going to keep getting ammo back every light swing, every 3. And also the Bray Tech Inheritance perk. It charges your abilities when you deal damage with it. And what happens if you're using an arc subclass? You can proc Monochromatic Maestro, which gives you an additional 10%. I've been using this with Arc Titan and Arc Hunter, and I'm talking juicy numbers. I put up a 7.8 million today. Now I know Arc Super gonna do more damage, but this sword can one phase Crota with no oversouls. If you get 5 people on the fire team that have Bequest, you're easily gonna one phase with Tractor Cannon. The reason why this sword is so strong is because we're taking advantage of using Surrounded. Surrounded is a 41.75% damage boost. This is absolutely insane. And just think, if someone in your fire team wants to run Banner of War Titan, it's going to buff your damage even more. This is going to be huge for Master Crota because we don't need to out heal him anymore. We got our butts whooped on contest. Now we just know when to plant wells and when to stay alive and get set up for final stand and save our supers. So if warlocks just simply throw healing nades on us, or someone in the fire team is running like a solar hunter, they could simply just throw solar nades on us to heal us. But this damage is not even tested. I'm telling you, like some of these clips that you're watching in the DPS, it's only 4 people damaging. I had Merc pop a well, Rain on Fallen Guillotine, I had VC on Lament, and I was using Bequest, and the damage just isn't even close. One thing I want to point out with Lament is we all seen it. People push Crota. In one of these clips, you almost see Crota go into the room because it's so hard to keep Crota stationary. When I'm swinging my sword, I'm actually holding S, so I'm back. I'm not trying to push him. And if I see him going out the well, I'll kind of loop around and kind of try and like then hold W and push him back in. Lament does rubber band a lot. I get penalized for playing at high frame rates. I rubber band through them. Also, in some of these damage tests here, I wanted to show you that almost 4 people in this fire team, we left them with like 20% health left. So if we would have added 2 more, it would have been one phase. And I just wanted to show you that with like less people damaging, to show you how much damage we could crank out with just 3 people using swords. We had 1 person on tractor, but again, we were testing out some different stuff. Now I was using my super, so that is inflating my damage, but everyone's going to use their super anyway. And the reason I was doing that is just to show how much damage you could crank out on like an Arc Hunter, or VC was using like an Arc Titan to proc Monochromatic. We just wanted to use it in like real life scenarios. We tried out with them using Lament, using Fallen Guillotine. I was using Bequest. You know, we wanted to give it pretty much as live feed as we possibly could to make it feel like a scenario that a fire team would use. So again, take all this stuff with a grain of salt. I'm not saying Bequest is the best, but it's kind of proven it to me that it does crank out crazy damage because you can just keep up those light attacks. And it's kind of hard for me to not use anything else right now. The reason why is, like I said, we're taking advantage of Surrounded. So all we do is, once we set up Crota for DPS, we're going to DPS on a bridge. The reason why is there's ads below the bridge. I know you guys are like, well, there's a setup to do it. All you have to do is just leave some ads alive. So what I always do in my runs, like I've been helping people, I kill a set of boomers right before damage so they don't bother us, and then kill the ogres that spawn. Leaves plenty of thrall, curse thrall, witches, and they're all just sitting down there. Now, occasionally a witch might come up and you might have to give her the old 1-2 buckle my shoe, but that's okay. When Surrounded is procced, it does insane damage. What if Surrounded doesn't proc? You're still doing consistent DPS. You're always on Crota's ass. Non-stop melee, 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 melee. Even if it's not fully charged, you got triple surge, you have tractor, you have well. You're non-stop doing light attacks, and that damage ramps up. I've seen my sword hit for 93k every hit, and I didn't believe it either. I'm telling you guys right now, like when I first seen this sword, and we were talking about it and chat's like, try it out. Lament users are going to say different because Lament has such utility to it and it heals you and this and that. But I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe if people would just throw this on, it is Deepstone Crypt week. You can go farm Tanics. What makes the sword so good? And I'm like, man, Surrounded is really good. Like people are using Briars on Urt now with Surrounded on their linears and just cranking out deeps. I think people should really take advantage of using a sword like this in their runs. See how you like it. See if it helps you and your friends get 1 phases, faster clears, viewer raids. If you're just helping your friends, or if you want to impress someone, just throw this on, see if it helps you, And then maybe you're like, well, Clyde, I really don't like the setup. I don't like that we have to leave some ads alive. That's okay. Remember, the reason why this is so strong is because you are crafting this. Enhance surrounded gives the surrounded more meters tracked enemies to you. You only need 2 enemies. It's 2 enemies in Crota, so 3 total. Proc surrounded, and you're just going to crank DPS. You're already going to proc monochromatic if you're on arc. All you have to do is throw a nade, a super, or a melee, and it procs the extra 10%. So you have surrounded 42% will round up, monochromatic another 10, well 25, tractor 30%, and then triple surge on your boots, which brings you to 22%. Arc hunters, you can actually swap to foe tracer after you throw your super at the boss, and swords proc foe tracer, so you can even get higher damage if you wanted to go crazy with this. There's so many possibilities with this sword, and I really just wanted to get this information out to just show you guys that yes, Lament's great, yes, Accuracy is great. I made a video on that, but try different stuff out. Instead of doing spinneroonies with fallen guillotine, you could even make this loadout cracked. What if you throw on, you can use 4th horseman with this sword right before Crota's kneeling to the ground and damage starts. You can just use a whole mag of 4th horseman, pop your super, then switch to your sword. You could pair this with Wither Horde if someone else isn't using it. The possibilities to just keep your damage ramped up at all times and hit high numbers and help your team get 1 phases, because like we're getting to the point where teams are going to be running Crota more and people should be 1 phasing them just to get used to it and get ready for Master. I think this sword's going to have no problem 2 phasing them on Master, although Lament's going to be doing that too, but Arc could be on the Master raids this season. So if it's Arc burn, we're going to just crank. Remember, there's nothing to set this up. You get the sword. I'm going to go over the perks. Impact is the only masterwork you can put on it. You're going to put Jagged Edge for DPS, Sword Master's Guard, Relentless Strikes, and Surrounded with the enhanced perk, obviously. Then throw on Monochromatic on your artifact if you're on an arc subclass, and triple surge on your boots. That's it. There is no other setup other than leaving a few ads alive. And it's okay if you guys first start using this sword and you're damaging Crota on the bridge like you see in the clip. And what if there's not ads alive? Or what if you only get surrounded for the first half of the damage phase? It's okay, trust me. You will out DPS Lament users because they're busy. Not everyone's perfect with Lament. Not everyone's hitting their combos, their block, their 3 lights and a heavy, or whatever combo they're using now. They're wasting time while setting up, while you're just constantly swinging your sword. You're always triple surged. You're always armor charged. And as long as that tractor stays on, you guys will easily get the dub. I also wanted to provide evidence on how strong this setup actually is. This is 5 Bequests with 5 wells, and our tractor cannon has a damage super, and they only average about 1,000,000 damage. So this is what 5 Bequests with warlocks does against this boss. You don't even need those warlocks, but the only reason we ran those warlocks is to show we weren't using damage supers. Check this out. Let me know in the comments down below after you try it out. Give me your thoughts on this sword. Maybe we can discover some more DPS, but I wanted to share this with you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.